How's everyone doing? How are all my 100 percentilers doing? We have a few new names here. Sakshi, hello. Anjali, hello. Hi, welcome to your first session. Hi, Anuj. Hi, Aju. Great. Where's everyone else? Can you guys quickly confirm if you're able to hear me? Also, I'm hoping that you guys had an extremely amazing day today because I'm just about to make your evening a little more amazing. We'll be looking at understanding averages and mixtures today. Yes, this is going to be the first part of the averages and mixtures section. Yes, and this is my 10th lecture. So if anyone has not been attending my sessions, I'd want you to know that this is my 10th lecture, which means there are 9 more lectures that are available on Unacademy's CAT channel, which I would really appreciate if you go through them because that's going to give you some basic idea. The earlier 9 lectures we have discussed percentages and profit and loss. Not only the concepts, we've also dealt with actual CAT questions regarding relating to percentages and profit and loss. Yeah, great, superb. Hi, great. Aditi is here as well. Amazing. Hi guys. Hi Anjali. Hi Jyoti. Hello Rachit. Hi Dinesh. Aditya. Hi Ishu. Great. Hemant. Hello. Kunal. Vineet. Vineet. Thank you. Thank you so much, Vineet. Yeah, 50K subscribers. I know, right? Yes. Was not was not an easy thing to do, but then with your support, it was actually kind of possible. Thank you very much, guys. Hi. Girish is here as well. So is Vani. Good evening, everyone. Dinesh, my ninth lecture is missing in YouTube. I don't think that's possible. See if you can, try and search for it or, open the playlist. You'd probably find it there. Yeah. Super. I'm so glad to see you all here. Yes. Vibhor, Rishikesh, Sushant. Great. Superb. Verma. Hi, Mr. Verma. Kalpit. Superb, guys. Superb. Amazing. So with no further ado, I think it's time for us to begin with the session. Yes, let me tell you a little bit about the common platform. Yes, if you've, so first things first about me, the ones who are new here, my name is Amit Surana. I am an aeronautical engineer from Chennai and I have over 5 years of experience teaching quantitative aptitude. I've trained over 2 lakh students and they are at a place that they always aimed for. If you're planning on sharing this on any of your social media platforms, guys, do not forget to use hashtag cat live daily. This will let us know that you are sharing, you are letting others also know, right? And in these difficult times you can actually use a little bit of good deeds. Yes, thoda bahut acha karma you can actually save up because that's going to be useful. Yes, great. And so talking about the platform, yes, the Telegram app's chat platform is actually up and running. Yes, if you've noticed, mine was the first message that I've sent. Yes, all you have to do if you haven't yet joined it, I've seen a lot of them have already joined. If you haven't yet joined it, download the Telegram app, open your browser, type in this particular URL. You'll be directed to joining the group. Yes, the advantages of joining the group is you will have all the aspirants, CAT aspirants in one place. Yes, and if at all there is, a after session party or after session meetup, it's gonna be there. Yes, superb. So yeah, and anyone who has still not taken up the Unacademy subscription, guys, you know that every day that you spend without, being a part of the Unacademy Plus, you're actually missing out on a lot of information. Yes, and a lot of shortcuts and a lot of, tricks that can get you to your aimed or your, dream score and quantitative aptitude of CAT. Yes, and if you're planning on taking up the subscription, do not forget to use the code Surana Live. Yes, this will fetch you as much as discount as it can get you. Yeah, the maximum discount would be given if you use Surana Live. Surana is my last name. Yes. Now, let's begin with what averages and mixtures are, right? This is the first session on averages and mixtures, which means you know what's going to happen, right? We're going to deal with a few basics. Yes. Since average is something that everyone understands, yeah, we'd not be dwelling too long on the basics. What we would do is we'd also talk about a few shortcuts, a few tricks that you can use to make your answer solving process a little more easy. Yes, so today's session will surely help you in easing your life out, especially with respect to averages and mixtures. Yes, so I am not able to get the vibe from you guys. I'm not getting the sense that you guys are excited for today's session. I'm gonna have to see something concrete that would let me know that you are excited to learn averages and mixtures today. Yes, so I'm gonna have to ask the question I usually ask, guys. How is the Josh? Great. Okay, Dinesh, I'm gonna check with the tech team. I'll figure out if there's something wrong there. I don't think there is something, but then yeah. Thank you guys for asking. Thank you, Kunal, especially for asking me how I am. Yes, I am doing amazing. Thank you very much. Rishikesh, thank you so much, man. Jyoti, thank you as well. Vanchika, if you have doubts, see, there are multiple places you can actually get these doubts clarified, right? One, the foolproof place, one, amazing place would be the Unacademy's Plus platform. Yes. So download the Unacademy's learning app, and you can, if you subscribe, you can always get into touch with any of the educators. You can ask any number of doubts, and nobody's going to think twice before helping you there. Yes. Apart from that, you can also always drop in your comments. Yes. Great, superb. So all the new guys, welcome. Yes, Vanchika, you don't have to search for the group. All you have to do is type in this particular URL. Yes, I'll again show the URL towards the end of the session. Yes, and there you can. All you have to do is type that up in the your web address, your web browser, and that'll take you to the particular group. Yeah, great, superb, superb. So I am seeing a lot of energy here. Yes, I'm seeing okay, people are asking me to machayenge. Okay, great. Madrista, okay, not that kind of high I'm expecting, but yes, superb. So without further thoughts, let's start with the basic, right? The basic of average is what? Yeah, the understanding of average basically means what? Yes, whatever is the total quantity, could be any quantity, right? Any quantity, could be the distance traveled, could be the amount of work, could be weight, height, score, could be income, anything, right? Any quantity. Yes, if it has to be calculated per capita or per number of people or per participants, yes, that is what average is all about, right? So any quantity per the number of quantities. Yes, that is what average is all about. So what we say is the standard formula would be what? Average is sum of n terms upon n, where n is what? The total number of terms. Yes, how many ever terms you are considering that. Sn is nothing but sum of all n terms, and A is nothing but the average. Yes, that's a very standard formula, right? That's a very standard formula, something that we've been learning from, I don't know, 6th grade, 7th grade. Yes, even before that, I think. Yes, great. Now, all I want you to keep in mind is this has number of, variations. If you want only the value of, sum, then all you have to do is what? Multiply average with the number of terms. This is going to give you the sum of n terms. Yes, and if you are looking for finding, if you're looking to find what are the number of terms that we are considering for the average, then all you have to do is what? Divide the sum by the average. This is going to give you the number of terms, right? Just a few variations of this. particular formula, right? Now, I want you to, understand one thing, that if you stick to this particular formula, there is no way you will not be able to answer a question. Do you understand, right? So this formula, right, this particular understanding of average will help you get through any question. Just that the process could be a little longer, it might be a little more complex directly using this formula, but then there is no way this formula is not going to fetch you the answer, right? Any kind of question, this formula you can always use. Yes, so this you can keep it as your last resort. If nothing else works, then you can always rely upon this. Yeah, so let's see an application of this. Yes, the next question is very simple, very simple. I understand that this might seem like a understatement for you guys. Yes, but my idea here is to explain this formula and also to help you quicken your calculation process, right? So here there's a question. Yes, let's see who can answer this first. Yes, it's all about calculation. Let's see who can answer this first. Anyone who's planning on using a calculator, please do not use it on your phone. Use it on your laptop or your computer, because that's how the calculator is going to be in your actual CAT. Yes, and avoid using the keyboard, start using the mouse. Yes, you have to get used to using the calculator in that particular environment. Got it? Super. So, okay, I don't know who would have sent the first, but I'm going to read the first three names. Aditi, Sonam, and we board first three guys who came up with the answer. Yes. And the other three guys, right? No, okay, not three, not three, not three. A lot of answers coming in now. A lot of answers coming in now. Super, super. Sonam is claiming that she has used nothing. How can you use nothing to get this? Yeah, without using a calculator, you mean? Great, super. Okay, so there are answers coming in. Most of your answers are right. Some are a little wrong. Yeah, but it's okay. Yes, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, now let's try and answer this question, right? What do we need for average, guys? They're asking for the average. Yes. Now I'm going to give you a quick tip here. Okay, always on one corner of your scratch paper, one corner of your rough sheet. Yes, please write down what is the question expecting of you. Yes, what is the main question, right? This is a very simple one liner question, that's okay. Yeah, but then when you have, like, word problems, when you have questions that are 5-6 lines long, yes, the expectation of the question might get lost in the words, right? So to avoid that problem, and to also avoid falling for the traps that they set, always write down what the question is looking for. So in this case, the question is looking for the average of what? These 12 terms. Yes. So what is it going to be, guys? Very simple question. Average is nothing but sum over the number of terms. Number of terms here are nothing but students, that are 12. Yes, so we have 12 students, which means there are 12 scores over the total, that is 663. Yes. Now you have multiple ways of dealing with this calculation. Yeah, if you want to cancel it out, since there are no answer choices, yes, approximation would be a very bad idea here, right? So you can either cancel it out and then try and deal with it, right? You can cancel it out with 3 first, because it's very easy to divide a number by 4. Yes, how do you divide a number by 4? Quite simple, right? Just half it 2 times. Yeah, or the other way around would be to try and look at the number and try to come up with a number, right? For example, so let's split the 663 as 600 separately, right? So 60 by 12 is 5, I know. Yes, why? 12 5 times is 60. So 50 times it's going to be how much? 600. I have another 60 here, which means there's going to be a 5 as well, right? So 55 is done. Now I have a 3. I know 12 5 times is 60. Yes, so 12 2.5 times is going to be how much? 30. Yes, but I want 3, which is going to be how much? 0.25. So I'm going to add a 0.25. Do you get it? Yes. That's all you have to do. So this is how much? 55.25. Yeah. Very good, guys. Very good. So this was a very good start to our session, right? A very simple question, a very basic question, and we've also learned how to, deal with the calculation in an alternative way. Apart from, the traditional canceling the common terms out, you can always stick to this as well, right? And this is a very good way. This is a very good way in which you can, try and approximate and eliminate most answer choices. Yes, great. So let's move on to the next concept now. That was the basics of averages. Everybody understands that, right? Let's talk about the relationship, right? The relation between different entities of the formula. Now I'm going to write the formula again here. Average is nothing but what? Sum of n terms over the number of terms, correct? Yes. Now here, what is going to be the relation between these entities, right? Between these entities. So here, what you have to remember, is, if at all the sum is going to be constant, yes, if at all the sum would be constant, yes, that is, under any condition, the total does not change, right? If the sum is constant, then if the average increases, yes, if the average increases, what does it mean? It means that the number of terms is going to decrease. Yes. For example, let's say we are looking at the average being 50. Okay, the average is 50. Yes. The sum of some terms is 100 and the number of terms is 2. Yes. So what I'm saying this 100 is going to remain the same, right? This 100 would remain the same, constant. Yes. If 100 is constant and if average increases, then the number of terms would decrease, correct? So let's say if I increase the average, right? Let's say if I increase the average, yes, if I make it 100, if this increases and becomes 100, what's going to happen to the number of terms? It will decrease. Why? Because they are inversely proportional. Yes, this works only when you know for sure that the sum, the Sn part, is constant. Yes, or the other way around. Now if I say the sum is 100 only, but the number of terms is going to increase. Yes, let's say the number of terms is going to increase from 2 to 4. Yes, so n increased from 2 and now became 4. Yes, the sum is the same, 100. Yes, what is going to be the average then, guys? What would be the average then? Yes, so if the number of terms doubles, then what will happen to the average? It will go half, because they are inversely proportional, है ना? Whatever you multiply here, you divide here. Simple as that. Yes, so what would happen here? The average would become half of 50, that is 25. Get it? Yes, the average, the number of terms goes double, average goes half. Yes, or the other way around. If the average goes double, then the number of terms will become half. Yes, if this becomes 100, then my number of terms will go half, right? So please understand this. This is going to help you in some complex questions or some very stupid questions also that can actually be dodged without dealing with equations, right? Now, what is the key point here of this particular slide? That if the sum of n terms is constant, then the average and the number of terms are inversely proportional to each other. Clear? Yes. Now, what would be the other variance of this? If the average is constant, then Sn and n, that is sum and number of terms, is going to be directly proportional. Yes. And if the number of terms is constant, then the sum and the average are directly proportional. Got it? Yeah. But this is the key part of the relationship. Yes. Great. Okay. Okay. Wow, okay, people. When I said you have to be lazy, so I usually use this term. I tell that you have to be hardworking before the practice, and you have to be lazy during the test. Okay, hardworking before the test and lazy during the test. That does not mean you start taking help from Alexa. Yes, do not do that, Deepak. Don't do that. Yeah, great. Okay, superb, superb, guys. Tarush, I'm gonna answer your question towards the end of the session, right? Let's continue with this relation. Now we've learned this relation. Let's see how you can use this relation in a question. So here there is a question for you guys. Let's see if you can read this question, understand it, and come up with the right answer. Any answers? Yeah, great. There are answers coming in. Superb. Sure, Binit. Sure. That's the plan. That's the plan. So while we are, learning the basics of concepts at one end, I will also take sessions on how to do speed calculation or how to reduce the amount of time. Yes, during the other processes, of course. Yes. Yeah. The answers have started coming in. 6.66% increase. Some are saying increase by 5.88 percentage. Okay, great. So there are two answers that are coming in. Very good. Great. Okay. So obviously, one of these two answers are right. Yes. Why? Because see here, what is happening? What do you mean by per capita income? What do you mean by per capita income? So per capita income is nothing but the average income, yes, of a population. Yes, of a particular population. Yes. So in this case, the average or the per capita income is going to be what? Total income over the population, which is nothing but what? Sum of all their individual incomes over the number of people in that particular town. Correct? Yes. Now, what are they saying? That this particular average decreases by 6.25 percentage, right? Yet the total income does not change. So, what are we clear of? That the sum is going to be constant. Yes. And the average decreases by 6.25 percentage, right? So, there's a decrease of 6.25 percentage. Now, anyone who understands the concept of percentage increase decrease, or anyone who has gone through the videos or the lectures that I've taken on percentages increase and decrease especially, right, you would clearly understand if we have two inversely proportional terms, yes, and if one of them increases by a by n, if one of them increases by a by n, then what do we know? That there will be a drop in the other term by what? By a plus n. Correct? Yes. So if the average increases by some a by n, then n will drop by a by n plus a. But what you have to be clear about is here there is a drop already. Yes, there is a decrease already, which means what will be the other way around of this formula? So if there is a by n decrease, this will lead to a by a, sorry, n minus a, right? A by n minus a. The numerator gets reduced. That much increase. Got it? So anyone who does not understand this would have fallen for a trap and would have said the answer is C. So C is a trap answer, guys. Yes, C is a trap answer. Yeah, you'll have to focus a little bit more on what you are doing, not even on the calculation part, right? So for a question like this, the calculation also doesn't matter that much, but what matters is what you are focusing on, right? So if there's a drop, what is 6.25 percentage, guys, in terms of fractions? Anyone? 6.25 in terms of percentage? Yes, 1 by 16. How do you know that? Because 1 by 2 is 50. 1 by 2 is 50 percentage. Half of that, 1 by 4 is 25 percentage. Half of that, 1 by 8 is 12.5 percentage. Half of that, 1 by 16 is 6.25 percentage, right? So if there is a 1 by 16 drop, what does it mean? There is a by n drop. That means there should be a by n minus a increase. That is 1 by 16 minus 1. That is how much? 15 increase. Do you get me? Yes. So the answer is what? Anything that gives me 1 by 15. Yes, 1 by 15 can I say is nothing but 1 by 5 into 1 by 3. Yes, just trying to help you understand this particular idea, right? This particular concept. Okay. So 1 by 5 into 1 by 3. 1 by 5 is 20 percentage, right? 20 percentage. So 20 by 3 is how much, guys? 6.66%. Yeah. So our right answer is what? B. So out of these four answer choices, the decrease part you can blindly eliminate, because you know if there is a decrease in average, number of terms has got to increase. Yes. So between B and C, our right answer is option B. So anyone who said C, I think by now you would have understood what went wrong. Yes, superb guys, superb. Sakshi, see, these questions may not directly come, right? इतना सा question नहीं होगा CAT में, may not be possible, right? But then what happens is this could be a part of a longer question. इसके बाद थोड़ा कुछ और extend हो सकता है. They could ask something, they could give you the value of one of these things and ask you the value of the other thing, right? That is a possibility. Do you get it, right? So this particular calculation should run in your subconscious when you're reading the question. Yeah, that's the reason why I'm giving you the shortcut, right? The longer way of doing this, right, the traditional way of doing this would be to deal with variables, or a slight non-conventional way would be what, to replace it with numbers. Yes, replace it with numbers. Yeah, great, beautiful, beautiful, great. So Sakshi, I think you are new here. Yeah, that is why you're not able to understand this a by n plus a. Do not worry, you don't have to worry. All you have to do is understand what we have done here, right? This particular part's explanation, I've beautifully done it in my previous lectures, right? So if you go through the percentages lectures, I've very, calmly, very slowly, I've explained the concept of a by n and a by n plus a. Yes, so you can always go through those videos again towards the end. Clear? Yeah. Okay, great then, great. So with that note, let's talk about the next question here, right? The next question here is on the screen, guys. It's on your screen. Quickly answer this question. Yes, I am not keeping a timer here because these are not actual CAT questions, but this is almost one of the CAT questions, right? This is almost one of the questions that was actually asked in CAT's QA. Yes, if you are able to understand this and are able to answer this question, then you would be able to answer the other ones as well. Yeah, so let's see if you can quickly answer this question, guys. Oh wow, Deepak, so are you indirectly telling me that I am more efficient than Alexa or more reliable than Alexa? Thank you very much for trusting a human being than trusting a piece of technology, but yeah, I take it as a compliment. Yeah, so we've closely discussed about two concepts, which means it is time for us to hydrate ourselves. Yes. If you want, you can quickly pick up your water bottles and take a sip for a couple of sips, whatever that will, quench your thirst for a while. Have you guys also done that? I'm hoping you guys have also done that. Super. The answers have already come up. Vibhor, Sonam, Anubhav, great. Rishikesh, thoda sa check your answer. Seems to have lost somewhere in the way. Yes. Well, Ram, your answer is on point. Thundercloud, CAT क्या होता है? CAT is Common Admission Test. This is a test conducted, or organized by the IIMs. Yes, that help them filter out candidates for their MBA programs, right? For their PGDP programs and all that, right? So if you're planning on doing your MBA, if you're planning on pursuing your higher studies, and you want to get into business administration, and if you want to do an MBA, then this test is for you. I hope you are clear about that yet. Yeah, correct, Sonam. Yes. So in simple words, it's an entrance test for MBA. Correct. Super. So some more answers have started coming in. Rachit, Nimisha, hi. Hari Shankar's answer is here. Sonam, okay, Sonam is answering Thundercloud. Aditi, Girish, okay, wait. A lot of answers have come in. Superb. Okay. Others, Pragati, Dinesh, thoda sa please check your answers. Yes, there's a slight plus minus there. Yeah. Okay. So here what do we have? We have a question that says there are three departments, right? Science, arts, and commerce, right? And they have 50, 80, and 120 students in them. Yes. They're saying that their average scores in some kind of a common test is 16, 18, and 15 respectively, which means science ka average is 16, arts ka average is 18, and commerce ka average is 15. What is the overall average of this batch? Which means overall, all of their scores added, right? So all 50 plus 80 plus 120 students, that is how much? 250 students ka scores added. What would be the average of this is what they're asking, right? Please remember, this does not mean the average of these three terms. Yes, average of 16, 18, and 15 is not the question. They're not asking what is the average of these average scores. They're asking what is the overall average of the batch. Yes, so anyone who's done 16 plus 18 plus 15 by 3, yes, you know you are wrong there. Yes, so in तीनों का average नहीं निकालना है, we have to calculate the average of the entire thing. Yes. Okay, so with that in mind, let's talk something about weighted average. Yes. Now, what do you mean by weighted average? Weighted average is there are two concepts hidden behind weighted average, right? The first concept is this, that if there are individual, right? If there are individual averages given to us, yes, individual averages given to us, say A1, A2, A3, and we know the number of terms N1, N2, N3, yes, then we can calculate the overall average. We can calculate the overall average by doing what? By finding the sum. Yes, so that is what? S1 plus S2 plus S3 plus S4 and so on, all the way till Sn. Yes, and dividing it by all the possible number of terms, right? N1 plus N2 plus N3 and so on. Yeah, so this basically means what? I need individual sums and I have to divide it all together with what? The total number of terms here. Yeah, for this, for identifying, for getting the sum, what would I have to do? I'll have to multiply the average with the number of terms. Simple, right? So the sum of all this is going to fetch me the answer to the question. So with this in mind, yes, how would we answer the previous question? Yes, so what is given to us? It's given to us that in the science department, right? So in the science department there are 50 people and their average is 16. Yes, so what do we want here? In order to get the average, I want individual sums and I have to get their total. Yes, so here denominator we can obviously get it because it's just given to us directly, 50, 80 and 120, which is 250, right? But to get the sum, what would we have to do? Multiply average with these total number of terms, right, in each department. So here 50 into 16 would be how much? Yes, so remember guys, 50 can be written as, you can either multiply 16 by 50 or you can do what? What is easier, multiplying a number by 50 or dividing it by 2? It's always easy to divide it by 2, right? So 50 can be written as 100 by 2, no? Yes, so all we have to do what? Divide 16 by 2 and then add 2 zeros. So what is going to be the product? 800. Yes, so the sum of all their scores in the science department is 800. How about the arts department, guys? Arts department, 80 into 18. Yes, so first you can do multiple things here. What I would suggest you do is split 18. Yes, 10 and 8. Yeah, 10 separately, 8 separately. So 80 into 10 is 800. 80 into 8 is 640. 800 plus 640 is how much? 1440. Yes, all mentally. 120 into 15 is what you have to do. So again split 15 as 10 and 5. Very easy numbers to multiply. Yes, 120 plus 10 is 1200. Again, the half of that is going to be what? Into 5, right? So 1200 plus 600 is how much? 1800. Got it? Yes, now all we have to do is what? Add all of these. So we have what? 800, 1440 and 1800, and the total number of N's in individual department is 250. Yes, so this is going to be how much? So 800 plus 1800. Again, these sums when you do, right? These sums when you do, what you can do is first take up the easy ones. 800 plus 1800 is 2600. Yes. Plus 400 would be how much? 3000 plus 1000 is 4000 plus 40 is 4040. Yes. So 4040 over 250, which is again nothing but what? 404 by 25. Yes. Now you have to divide a number by 25. Correct. What is easy? Can I write 25 as 100 by 4? Yes. So if I were to divide a number by 25, what would I have to do? I'll have to multiply it with 4 and then divide it by 100. Correct. So instead of doing this, I'm going to do what? Into 4 by 100. Why? Because it's easy to do it that way, right? So 404 into 4 is what I have to do, which is nothing but double and its double, right? So you double it twice. So 404's double is 808. Its double is going to be what? 1616. So sorry, not 1616. Yes, it's going to be how much? 404, 808. Yes, 808. Its double is going to be how much? 16. Correct. Yes. So this has to be divided by 100, which is going to be no. Sorry, this is going to be 1616. My bad. I added an extra 0. Yes, my bad. The 1616 by 100 is how much? 16.16. Yes. Yeah. So 16.16 is my answer. So anyone who said exact 16.16 is right. Others, you'll have to work on the calculation part. Yes. Great. No. Deepak, trigonometry is also a part of CAT QA, right? Trigonometry is also a part of CAT QA, just that it is not very frequently seen, right? But then again, it is as important as averages and mixtures that we're doing today, right? We've seen, one question or two questions in every test. Yes. So whatever slot you are in, first or second slot, you will have to face, I think, a maximum of two questions, maximum. So there could be two, there could be one, or there could be zero. Yeah. Trigonometry and its applications, not only trigonometry, but applications also. Yes. Super. Great. Okay. So there we go. Right. So this was the understanding of what weighted average, right? Now, the other concept that I want to let you know about weighted average is, wait, let me just do it in the screen itself, right? The other information that I want to give you about weighted average is here. Yes. Now, what we mean when we talk about weighted averages, let's say we have 5 terms. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So what is going to be the average here? Or average is nothing but what? Arithmetic mean, right? So what's going to be the arithmetic mean for these 5 numbers, guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now these are in arithmetic progression, right? Do you see 1 increase throughout, which means the middle term, the median is going to be the mean also. Yes, the median is nothing but 3. So 3 is my average, or I can obviously go ahead and add, right? N into n plus 1 by 2, that is 5 into 6, 30. Yes, 5 n into, first term, last term by 2, right? You can go with first term plus last term by 2 also here, right? 1 plus 5, 6, 6 by 2 is 3. Or you can go with the traditional method, that is adding all of these. Yes, 3, 6, 10, 15, 15 by 5 is 3, right? So the average is what? 3 again. Yes. So here when I say the average of these, or the arithmetic mean of these 5 terms is 3, there is going to be a scenario where we can assume that each of these terms, right? Each of these terms is also 3. Yes, I can assume that each of these terms is also 3, because then my condition of average being 3 would be right. Yeah. So if all these terms are 3, what is the average of this? 3. Got it? Yeah. And if you actually notice here, right, whatever is the deviance, right, whatever is the, a discrepancy that is here, there's -2, Yes, sorry, plus 2. We are adding 2, right? Here there is plus 1. Yes, here there's 0. Here there is minus 1. Here there is minus 2. This gets balanced out. Do you see? Plus 2, minus 2 cancelled, plus 1, minus 1 cancelled, right? It gets balanced out. Yes. So the idea behind weighted average is you can always go ahead and assume, that each of these terms is going to be the average. Got it? समझ में आ रहा है, right? So you can make an assumption here that each of these terms is also the average. Yes, sorry, each of these terms is nothing but the average, right? So here is the case. Yes. So for questions where they have, they've given the average and they talk about the average increasing or the average decreasing due to some kind of a change in the group or some kind of a change in the given set. Yes. We have kind of a logic here. Yes, which will be very useful, for questions that deal with averages. Okay. Yes. So here, see here. Yeah. So what I've done is I've made a table here. If you want to take a quick screenshot, you can go ahead and do that. Right. I've made a table here that will help us understand what's going on. Okay. So for now, let me just explain what the table is, and then I'll use questions to help you understand this. Okay. So of the existing terms, right? Let's say there are n terms, right? There are n terms. Yes, of the existing terms, if I add some term k, yes. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? The example that we used earlier. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this, if I add another term, right? If I add another term, say 6, yes. What happens here if I add 6? The average increases, correct? The average becomes what? It increases. So if average increases here, what will happen? How does the average increase? Obviously it does, right? So what happens here? The average becomes 3.5. Yes, so average increase from 3 to 3.5. So if the average increases, it basically means that the term that was added is greater than the initial average. So the supporting proof is here that 6 is greater than what was our initial average, 3. Yes. Now what if I don't add a number greater than that? Instead, let's say I add a number that is equal to the average. So to the earlier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if I add another term 3, yes. So what's going to be my average, guys? What will be my average? My sum is how much here? Earlier it was 15. 15 plus 3 is 18. 18 by 6 is how much? 3 again. Yes. So did the average change? Though I added a term here, my average did not change, right? It still is the same. Yes. So if my average is constant in spite of adding a term k, it basically means what? That k is equal to the average. Yes. So this is k. K is nothing but 3. Yes, but to this number, right, to this series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, let's say I add 1. Yes, let's say I add the term 1. Yes, now what happens to the average, guys? Now what happens to the average? Now the average becomes what? Earlier it was 3, now it will be what? 16 by 6. Yes, 16 by 6, which is how much? 8 by 3, yeah, which is 2.66. So do you see how the average has dropped? Why? Because I've added a term that was less than the average. Yes, so this particular case. So if a term k is added and the average decreases, it basically means what? That k is less than the average. So k is what? 1 here, which is clearly less than the initial average, that was 3. Yes. Have you understood this part, guys? Have you understood this particular part? Can I get some confirmation from your end, guys, that you are able to understand this table? Yeah, okay, great, super. Now let's move ahead with the next logic, that is by removing a term. Yes, so I'm going to erase all of this. Yes, I'll erase all of this. And now what we are going to do is, of the existing series, right? Of the existing series that we had, what we are going to do now is I'm going to remove a term. Yes. So if I remove a term from this, from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. If I remove a term from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This was our earlier thing. The average here is what? 3. From this, if I remove a term k, from n, if I remove a term k, let's say I'm going to remove 3. So what is left now? 1, 2, 4 and 5. Yes. What is the average of these 4 terms then? Yes, what is the average of these 4 terms? It is again 3, right? Because you have what? 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 is 12. 12 by 4 is 3 again. Yes. The average is constant. Why? When is the average constant? If the value that we have removed is equal to the average. So exact average value if I remove, then the final average does not change, right? It remains the same. Yes. Similarly, of this set, right, of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say I remove a number greater than the average. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I remove a 5. Yes. Now what is the average? The average has become what? This is nothing but 10. 10 by 4 is 2.5. Yes. So my average has dropped. My average has decreased. Why? Because I've removed a term that was actually helping me increase the average. 5 was a term that was helping me increase the average. Yes. So if the average decreases, yes, if the average decreases, it basically means what? That the term that we have removed is greater than the average. Clear? And in the third scenario, if I were to remove a number less than the average, let's say I remove 2, right? So I have 1, 3, 4 and 5. Yes. So what is the total here? 13. 13 over 4 is going to be how much? 13 over 4 will be what? 3.25. Correct. So what is happening? Now my average is increasing. Why? Because I'm removing a smaller number, a number smaller than my average that was bringing the average down. It is like if there is a boat going and there is an anchor, and if you cut off the anchor, what happens? The speed increases. Correct. Similar concept. So the numbers that are lower than the average is the reason why the average is low, and the numbers that are greater than the average. Now the third concept where we are talking about replacing. Yes, of the existing terms. So I'm going to erase this. If you have you understood all of this? Yes. They've add 5 to what? We've moved on from adding to removing. Yes, we are done with these two. What are you asking about? Are you asking about the previous concept again? Okay, so what we are going to do here is what? We will remove and replace that particular term with a new term. Yes, so out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, 3, 4, 5. Let's say if I remove one of these terms, yes, if I remove one of these terms and I replace it with another term. Yes, so what is the earlier average here? The earlier average here is 3. After removing and replacing it with a new term, right? I don't know what the new term is. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yes. And there is some other term. I don't know what the term is. If the average of the new set is also 3, that means if the average is constant, that basically means what? The number that we have removed and the term that we have replaced it is going to be the same, which basically means 5 was again replaced with 5. Yes. So if there is replacement and the average is constant, it basically means that the term that we've removed is the same as what we've replaced it with. Yes. However, if I replace it with a bigger term, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to replace 5 with a bigger term. Yes, let's say I'm going to replace 5 with 8. Yes. So now what will be my new average, guys? My new average will become what? 18 by 5, which is 3.6. Yes. So my average has increased. Do you see? Yes, from 3 it became 3.6. Earlier it was 3, it has now become 3.6. Yes, what has happened here? A smaller term was replaced with a bigger term. Yes, so if my average increases, what does it mean? It means that the term that I have replaced, the new term k, is greater than the term that was removed. Yes, but on the last, this is the last explanation of the series, right? Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say I remove 5, right? I remove 5 and I replace it with, let's say, 2. Yes, then what is going to happen? My average will become what? I'm going to replace 5 with 2, so my average now is how much? 12 by 5, that is 2.4. Yes, this is my average. So what is happening here? My average is decreasing, which basically means that the term that I have replaced, understand the changes or the increase or decrease in the average with respect to the number of terms, or the quantity of the terms changing. Yes. Yeah, great, super. So now with this idea, right? With this idea, keep this in mind, keep this in mind. Let's try and answer this question. Yes, it is okay if you're not able to use that concept here, it is completely fine. Yes, for now, just try to answer this in whichever way you can. Yes, if you are good with equations, go ahead and do that. There are Okay, Aditya, hi. So you're pursuing B Pharma, right? That is extremely interesting. Very good. Yeah, so if you're looking at career options, right? If you're looking at career options, you're gonna have to do some research on your own, right? First, try and figure out what are the top irrelevant to what you've learned. That I'd say that may not be very helpful, right? So if you want to pursue your career in B Pharma, then you're gonna have to do something relevant to that. Yes, first try and do their course, or what is the course fee, and what is the average salary, average package that the university has received in the last 2, 3, 5 years, whatever. Based on that, then come up with this idea. Yeah, I hope that helped you. Yes, great. So I'm getting answers here. Yes, the answers. Aditi has given the answer, Vibhor has given. Correct, Anjali. Yes, superb, superb. That's the idea here. Yes. So, Shraddha, you've changed your answer. Very good. No issues. Great. So, 59,000. Yes, of course, 59,000 is the right answer here. Yes. So, try and understand this question. What's happening here? The average price of 6 phones is 45,000. Yes. If the seventh phone's price is also included, which means now out of from 6, the number of the value of n has increased to 7. Yes, and they're saying what if it is included, then the average increases to 47,000, not by 47,000, to 47,000, which means n has increased what, from 5, sorry, from 6 to 7. Yes, and what has happened, the value of average a has increased from 45,000 to 47,000. Yes, so now what they want is, they want the price of the seventh phone. Yes, what was this extra number added, based on which something has happened, right? So first, okay, if there were answer choices, which ones would you eliminate? Yes, so what is happening here, try and understand what is happening. The average is increasing, the average is increasing. What is the reason behind this increase in average? This addition of the new phone. So can I say the price of the new phone is nothing but k? Yes. So if I add k to the existing terms, what is happening? My average is increasing. My average is increasing. Yes. So can I understand that the value of k then is going to be what? Greater than my average? Correct. The value of k would obviously be what? Greater than the average. Yes. That is what we've learned in the previous slide, right? Yeah, the relationship. Yes. Yeah, but now since there are no answer choices, yes, if at all there were any answer choices that were, less than 47,000, 45,000, I could have blindly eliminated them. Yes, but since there are no such, numbers, there are no answer choices, we'll have to do this manually. Yeah, so there are two ways of doing this. Yes, Like I told you, the average formula, which is what is average, guys? Average is sum of n terms over n, right? So that will help you answer this question very well. Yes, so that's what I'm doing here. First things first, what? I have 6 phones, right? There are 6 phones, so average of 6 phones is going to be what? Sum of 6 phones over 6. Why? Sum of n over n, right? So sum of 6 phones over 6. Yes. What is then the sum of 6 phones? It's going to be average into 6. Average is 45,000. 45,000 into 6 is how much? 270,000. Yes. So 270,000 is the total price of all 6 phones. Now what is happening? A 7th phone is added. So after adding the 7th phone, right, which I'm going to call it as T7. So after adding T7, term 7, what happens? The average increases. It increases to what? 47,000. Yes. So what is the total sum? Then total sum will also kind of increase. Yes. So how much would it increase by? So sum would be nothing but what? A7 into 7, right? So sorry, average into 7 is going to be sum of all phones. Yes, S6 plus T7 is nothing but what? 6 phones plus the 7th phone's price. Yes. So S6 value is 270,000. I can replace it here. Yes. A7 is 47,000. I know that. So I can find the value of T7, the 7th term, based on what? This particular multiplication. So 47 7 times is 329. So 329,000 minus 270,000, which is how much? 59,000. Yes. So this is the traditional method. This is the standard method that you use to answer this question, right? This is the standard traditional way of answering this question. So if you have done this, yes, this will get you the answer. This will always get you the right answer. Yes, accuracy is very high, but do you see how much time we've actually eaten up doing this? Yes. Also imagine doing these calculations. Yes, doing these calculations without the help of a calculator. And if you rely on the calculator, then these calculations would be extremely time consuming. Yes. So accuracy here increases if you use the standard method, but the time happens what? It reduces. Yes. Now, what is the alternative here? What is the alternative? Using the weighted average concept, right? So what's the weighted average concept here, guys? If I say that the average price is 45,000, can I assume that all 6 phones, right? All 6 phones, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Initially there were 6 phones, right? All 6 phones, the price is how much? 45,000. Yes, so I'm going to write 45 for now. Yes, 45,000. I understand it is 45,000, right? So each of their prices is what? 45,000, correct? Now what is happening? Now some new phone comes in, right? Some new guy comes in the group, and then because of this new guy's entrance, what happens? The average increases, right? So average increases becomes what? 47,000. So can I say now, based on the concept of weighted average, every single phone's price has also imaginatively increased? Yes. Practically not increased, but based on the logic, since the average is 47, which basically means we can assume that the individual prices have also become 47. Yes. Now what is happening? Because this phone has come in, right? So I can assume this phone would have had 45,000 as a price. Yes, iska price bhi 45,000 it would have been. But because it is more than 45,000, my average is increasing, right? Increasing by what individually? 47 and 45, 2,000 increase in every phone, correct? So there's a 2,000 increase of price in every phone. Yes, here also, yeah. Basically means what? That there are 2,000 adding extra to this 45,000, right? So there's 45,000 already. In this 45,000, these 2,000s are adding extra. How many are they? 7. So 14,000 is added extra, correct? Which basically means what? My price is nothing but 59,000. Do you get it? So it all starts with an assumption. Yes. What is the assumption here? The assumption is nothing but the individual prices is the average. Yes. Average price is nothing but the individual prices. Yes. So individual prices 45, 45, 45, 45 we are assuming. Okay. So agar 7th phone ka price we add it, we can start with an assumption that also is 45,000. Just with an assumption. Yes. But if it were 45,000, average same 45,000 ही रहा होगा. Yeah, it wouldn't have increased. It is increasing to 47,000, which means her phone का price, every phone's price is now increasing by 2,000. क्यों? Average is increased by 2,000. Yes. So totally 14,000 is increasing. So earlier we were assuming that the price of the seventh phone is 45,000. Now since there's a price increase of 14,000, the final price is what? 59,000. Yes. So how would you do this in a non explanatory way? If you had to do it mentally, first start with an assumption 45,000. Whatever was the initial average, assume that was the price of the seventh phone, right? So first assumption, price of the seventh phone is 45,000. Yes. How much is the average increasing? It's increasing by 2,000. Yes. So for every phone, if it increases by 2,000, then for 7 phones, it will increase by what? 14,000. So just add this extra increase. This is going to get me what? The final price. Yes. So a question that would have taken you over, 2.5 minutes to do it with equations, using this logic, right? Using the idea of weighted average, you can actually do it in less than, 20 seconds. Yes. Great. So beneath, is this understandable, right? Is the shortcut great? Right. You have to understand one thing, guys, that there is no standard or predefined amount of time for preparation. Yes. So let's assume that the task here is to swim, right? Task here is to swim. Yes. So if a because the basics are already learned, swimming is already learned, all you have to do is what? Learn some kind of strategies that will help you win the race. Yeah. But let's say if a dog comes and tells me, or okay, if some other animal comes and tells me, right? A lion comes and tells me that, dude, I want to win this particular swimming race. How do I win it? How much time would it take? Then it would depend upon how much swimming does the lion know. Yes. So if the lion is already well versed with swimming and its basics, then it will not take much time. But if the basics are not strong, then it is going to take time. So it is subjective to where you stand with respect to quantitative aptitude, right? Super great. So keep this in mind, guys. Keep this shortcut in mind, and let's see if you can answer this question now, right? This is a very similar question. Just try and understand, yes, what this question is trying to say. Yeah. So let's see if you can quickly answer this. Yes. Oh, hi. Welcome back, Abba. Yeah, I hope you'd be able to attend the sessions now on a daily basis. Yes, super, Abba. Hi. Hi, Ankita. Hello. Good evening. Anuj, of course. Yes, that's the idea. It depends upon three things, guys. Yes, I tell this daily. I am going to repeat this today as well. Yeah. Your quantitative aptitude score is going to depend upon three things. One, your basic knowledge on mathematics. Two, the tricks, the strategies, the general ideas that we give here. And number three, the amount of practice that you put in. Yes. Unless you use an amalgamation of all these three things, right? A mixture of all these three things, it's not going to help you achieve the score that you want. Yes. If you only use the basic, kind of okay, you'd be not satisfied, I'd say, but you'd not feel bad about the score. Yes. But then if you do not use these strategies, these tricks, you might actually be a little disappointed in your score, right? So we need a mixture of all these three things. Yes. So on the screen is a very simple, very dull question. Yeah, you can always depend upon equations when you deal with averages question. Like I said, your last resort, right? Your last hope, last string of hope, or ray of hope is going to be using equations. Make equations. It's probably going to be just a linear equation that you'll have to solve, right? So you can always stick to linear equations, or you can also depend upon assumptions. Yes. But the best way to deal with these kind of questions and averages is to understand the idea of weighted average. Yes. Okay, so there are answers coming in, and the answers are actually okay. There's a huge discrepancy in the answers. Okay. Shraddha is saying 50, Corona is saying 55, Anjali 46, 36, 42. Okay, kind of, there's too high a discrepancy here, right? So let's see the other answers as well. Let's see what the majority says. Yeah. Navyavani, Hari, Sonam, Vibhor say 46. Correct, Anjali. Yeah, that is the logic. Yes, Anjali. Super. Oh, Anand, hi. This is your first session. Welcome, Anand. Welcome. If you're feeling very energetic, that is actually a compliment. Yeah, thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much for contributing to this particular community. Thank you very much. Acha, thank you, Vibhor. Thank you for reminding me also. Okay, while you guys are typing in your answers, others who say the answer is not 46, please check what's wrong with your answer. Yes, meanwhile, I'm going to take a quick sip of water. This is also a reminder for you guys to take a sip of water. Great. Okay. So the answer is 46, guys. The right answer is 46. Let's try and understand this question. Okay. The average score of a team of 11 players is reduced by 4. Okay, so there was some average earlier. It got reduced by 4 when Kohli, who has scored 90 runs here, right? He has scored 90 runs, is replaced by a new player. Yes, so any Kohli, any Virat Kohli VK fans here, yes, you should be very proud of yourselves, right? Because if Kohli gets removed of the team, the average is actually taking a hit here, right? Yeah, okay. So how many runs did the new player score? First things first, what do we know for sure? That if the average is reducing, yes, if the average is reducing because a player was replaced, right? Average is reducing because a player was replaced. What does it mean? That the new player score has to be less than what? The average. Yes, that we do not know what the average is. Yes, and it is also clear that it's going to be what? It is going to be less than Virat Kohli score here, less than 90. Yes. If we had any answer choices, we could have used this to eliminate that, but then that's not there. Yeah. So let's try and answer this question. Technically, how we would solve equations, right? Equations would be what? First average, initial average, let's consider it A1. It will be what? Sum of 10 people score plus Virat Kohli score over 11. The reason I'm putting this separately is because I know Virat Kohli score here. Yes. So S10, sum of 10 terms plus 90 over 11 is going to be my first average. So this can be considered as my first equation. The final average, right? After replacing Kohli with a new player, yes, what happens? The average becomes S10, which is the same. The remaining 10 players, we don't mess with them, right? But N is added to it and there are 11 players in the team. Yes. What is happening? The average is reducing by 4. So if I put this, yes, if I put equation 1 and 2 in 3, what would I get? I'd get an equation where I would have to find the value of n. So I can cancel out S10. Yes, I'd be what? I'd be getting n is equal to 90 minus 44, which is 46. This basically means that the new guy's score is how much? 46. Yes. So this is the traditional way. This is the standard method of doing this question. Yes. You can always use the standard method as a last, as a backup. When none of the logical methods work, then you can stick to the equations, right? Now let's try and answer this with the help of what? Some logic. Okay. Now, do we know the average? Do we know what is the average? We don't know. So there are 11 players, right? 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. 11 players, right? So 10th player and the 11th player, let's consider to be Kohli. Yes. Their average is something, A. Their average is A. Average is not given to us, right? Average is all A. Okay. So we are going to assume that their scores are also A. I know Virat Kohli's score is not A, it is 90. Yes, but keep that in mind. Okay. Now what is happening? I'm going to replace this 90 with somebody. Yes, so I'm going to replace this 90 with a new guy. So which basically means what? This goes off and the new guy's score gets added to it. Yeah. So what happens? First assumption is going to be what? His score is also as equal as the averages, right? His score, new guy's score is also equal to average. Okay. But what is happening here? The average is decreasing by something, right? What is it decreasing by? It's decreasing by 4. Yes. So 4 is decreased here, 4 is decreased here, 4 is decreased here also. Why? Because if the average decreases, then the average decreases for all of them. Correct? Yeah. Now, if I assume that his score was equal to the average, then itself we understand that the average would have dropped because the highest scorer is who? Virat Kohli with 90 runs. Yes. It's given his score is highest scorer, which basically means our assumption would be what? Not that his average score is A, but that his average score was 90. Yes. The new guy's score was 90, not A. Yeah, it was 90. Yes, because if it were A, it basically means we understand, we know for a fact that A is average is less than 90 because Kohli was the highest scorer there. Yes, average will always be, remember guys, average will always be lower than the highest scorer and greater than the lowest scorer. It's going to be in between there, right? So now what's happening, out of 90, with this assumption, if we move on, out of 90, 4444 is removed for each of them. It is given to us. We assume that the new guy's score is also 90. Yes. If the new guy's score is also 90, then the average shouldn't have changed. Yeah. But then the average is reducing. Why? Because this new guy's score is less than 90. Yes. How much less is the question? 90. Okay. But how much less than 90? Yes. So 4 is decreasing for each of these players, which means for 11 players, 4 decreasing would be how much? 44 decreasing. Correct. So if I remove 44 from Virat Kohli's score, I'd get what? 46. Yes. You can actually do this mentally itself, right? You do not even have to use a pen and a paper or a calculator. You can do this mentally, where you actually answer these questions just by the looks of it. Yes. Again, there are a few questions that I have seen that are very similar to the questions that we are discussing. Yes, but just that the numbers are not that easy. Yes, there are some decimals, there are some fractions and all used. Yes, otherwise the concept remains the same. Clear? Great, amazing, amazing. Okay, so now for the last question of today, guys, for the last question of today. Yes, there's one on your screen. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick sip of water. If you guys also want, you can go ahead and do that. So here the question is kind of asking something else. Try to understand what the expectation of this question is. Yeah. Okay, Deepak, another football fan. Very good. Hi. Aju, cricket fan. Very good. Prince is the true gangster here. Yes, everyone is a gangster until the true gangster walks in, right? Someone who likes gilli danda. Very good. Aju likes gully cricket, which is, yeah, which is nice. Which is basically, we play cricket without the environment. That basically is gully cricket. Yeah, super. Okay, Nikunj, are the mock tests also included in the plus subscription? Yes, there are a lot of practice tests, right? There will be practice tests as well as the test analysis will also be done there. Yes, it's also a part of the package. Yeah, which you actually look at it, right? If you look at it, it is actually, if you compare it with other people, other vendors in the market, yes, the price charged by Unacademy is actually way, way low. Yes, basically means if you take this up, right, you don't lose any money. In fact, you gain a lot of it. Yes, there's a lot of benefit there. Yeah. Superb. The answers have started flowing in. Very good, guys. All of your answers in sync with each other. Yes. Did you guys talk before posting your answers or did you actually solve it? Yeah, all your answers are four. Very good. Vibor, Hari, Shraddha, Anjali, Prince, Dinesh, Navyavani, Aditya, Aju. Very nice. Very nice. So this is kind of a simple question, right? This is a simple question. Only if you understand what's going on here, right? So what is going on? There's a group of men, right? And their average age increases by 5 years. Not their age, their average age, the average of the entire group increases by 5 years. When a person aged 18 years is replaced by a new person aged 38 years. Yes, so there are some number of people, that is what is to be answered here, right? N is my expectation, right? N is what I have to find out. Yes, what is happening? There's some number of people. Yes, initially there was one of these men who was 18 years old. Yes, this 18-year-old guy gets removed of the group and another guy of 38 years is added to this group. Okay, when this exchange happens, when this replacement happens, the average age is increased by 5. Yes, which basically means what? If the average age increases by 5, so can I say each of their ages also increases by 5? Yes, How many ever people there are, all of their ages increases by 5, correct? Yeah. Now, what is the reason behind this increase in 5? This particular change. Yes, this particular change, right? From 18 to 38. Yeah. So if you look at it, if you want to solve it in the traditional method, the equations method, all you have to keep in mind is keep the value n unknown. Yes, the other sum, right? Apart from this one guy, so what I've done here is first average is, if there are n people, then this is going to be the sum of n minus 1 people. If let's say if there are 10 people, then sum of 9 people. If there are 8 people, sum of 7 people, right? Plus 18, the initial guy. Yes. So this is going to be my first equation, right? In the second equation, what happens? This guy who is 18 years old is replaced with a 38-year-old guy. Based on what? The average increases by 5. Yeah. So if I combine all three of these equations, what do I get? An equation where I can actually cancel out the other people's sum. It doesn't even matter anymore, right? So what do I have? I have 5n would be equal to 38 minus 18, that's 20. That will lead to what? N being 4. So your equations, if you are extremely strong, if your stronger suit or if your strength is forming equations and solving them immediately, then you can go with this. Yes. Unless and until that is your stronger suit, I would not suggest you to stick to equations. Yes. What would be the logic here? So if we noticed when the guy of 18 years old was replaced with 38 years old, there was an increase in 20 years in the total, correct? So whatever was the sum got increased by 20. Why? Because this new guy came in with extra 20. Yes. So I'm talking about how many ever people, total people, not SN minus 1, total people. Yes. 20 got increased to this, right? Because of this 20, what happened? The average increased by 5. Yes, the average increased by 5, which means 5 got distributed among how many ever people there were. Yes. So can I say this 20, this extra 20 years got split into some number of people adding 5 to their age? Yes. This basically means what? That 5n, whatever is the number of people n, will be equal to 20. 5 added for n people, that means 5 into n will be equal to whatever this extra sum was, right? Becomes what? N would be equal to 4. Yes. So these tricks, these are not tricks per se, right? But these are logics, right? They are not tricks. You are not cheating anything. You are not, skipping anything. You're just trying to use some logic here, right? So what's the idea? What's the base idea of all of this, guys? That the average age can be assumed as the individual age, or the average quantity can be assumed as the individual quantity. Yes. Super. We start our sessions by 6:30. We end it about 7:50, 7:55. So about an hour and a half, 90 minutes. Yes. I've sent you a reminder on the Telegram. If you haven't already joined the Telegram, you know what to do. Yes, you have to join the Telegram group so that you are updated with whatever recent information, whatever updates you have to have. Right, it'll be there. Yes. Now, before I end this session, I'll give you a suggestion. What I want you to do is take your phones, open the alarm app. Yes, add an alarm for 6:25 p.m. daily. Yes, change the label from alarm 1, change it to Amit Surana Unacademy CAT. Yes, and save it, repeat it every day. Yeah, keep it on for repeat for every day, because that will help you give some kind of a motivation, some kind of a push. Let's say you suddenly got busy doing something else, or some other YouTube video started seeming more interesting. Yes, how to make dalgona coffee started seeming more interesting, right? At that point in time, that alarm will help you direct that this is going on, right? I will also make sure I send you a reminder every day, but then apart from that, this also you can do. Yes. Super, guys. So I hope you know how to join Telegram app, right? People who were asking initially how to do that. How you would do that is you would download the Telegram app from your Play Store or your App Store. You will open your Google Chrome, your Safari, your Opera, whatever web browser you're using. Type in this particular web address, tinyurl.com/Unacademy chat. Yes, when you type this, There'll be a lot of options. You know, you want to join the group for CAT. If you click on that, you'll be automatically directed towards joining this group. Yes, super. Yeah, of course, guys. Yeah, the basics. The reason why we are focusing on the basics now is because they will help you also answer DILR. Yes, percentages, averages, ratio, proportions. These are extremely important. These are the base of DI. Yes, data interpretation cannot be answered efficiently if you are not good with these basics. Yes, that's the reason we're starting with the basics and then we'll move on to advanced. Yes. Superb, guys. So this was the end of our session. Thank you very much. Before leaving, please do not forget to hit the like button to let me know that you've actually learned something new and you've enjoyed the session. Yes, I also want you to know that there were 9 other lectures earlier. So people who only joined now, please go through those 9 lectures earlier. Percentages, profit and loss was very slowly, very efficiently taught. Yes, go through them. If you like those also, do not forget to hit like there as well. Yes, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, you know what to do, right? Subscribe to the channel. And for people who were asking about, sir, how do I ask you doubts, or how do I use the practice test, right? How do I take up more efficient practice tests, right? So for you guys, this is the information, right? Unacademy subscription. If you download the Unacademy's learning app, along with live classes and interaction that happens with the educator, right? You interact with me using the chat box here. Yes, apart from what happens there, yes, we would also have live goals and leaderboards that will help you compare your level, your status with the other aspirant status. Also, people who are asking for practice tests, there are multiple test series, and also there will be analysis done on those tests. Yes, which will help you understand what are your weak areas, strong areas. And the best part about this is what? The live doubt clearing sessions. Any point in day, if you have a doubt about any particular concept, all you have to do is take a screenshot of it and upload it. Yes, that particular doubt will be explained live. Yes, so for you to do that, all you have to do is what? Download the Unacademy's learning app, install it on your phone, right? All you have to do is click on the CAT course if that's what you're planning on taking. Yes, if you have other friends, relatives who are planning on taking the other other tests, other courses, and you can suggest them as well, right? Click on CAT, get the subscription. Yes, based on the situation, the current situation of the number of cases and all happening every day, right? There could be a chance that the date could get pushed over. Yes, in that case, I think the best plan that you have here is the 12-month plan. Yes, anyone who is planning on taking the CAT not in 2020 but in 2021, then you also have the 24-month plan, which actually comes up with a 75% difference in the price. Yes, so try to make use of these packages. Yes, and as an added advantage, since you've gotten this information from Amit Surana, you can use this code Surana Live. That will help you get as much discount as you can. Yes, thank you very much, guys. I hope you have learned a lot in today's session. Yes, my name is Amit Surana, and I'm gonna take a leave now. Thank you very much, guys. Good night. I will see you tomorrow again at 6:30. Until then, thank you very much. Bye bye.